Prosperity isn't just about success, it's about wholeness. And sometimes the greatest prosperity is born through moments of loss, healing, and spiritual realignment.
Here we go! Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, let's go!
And welcome to another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I'm your host, the Nicole Johnson, and today we're exploring prosperity from a powerful place, the integration of mind, body, and spirit. Today, I'm honored to sit down with, oh, listen, okay, and let me stop right here. I have been having so much fun with my prosperity conversations, and I've met all types of people who believe in energy, people who are into alignment. They also talk about money, but this is the first time I have had an actual Olympian come to the stage with me, and you guys just cannot understand how excited your girl is about that. So today I'm meeting with Amy Gamble, author and founder of Champions of Resilience Life Coaching. After losing her mother, her very best friend, Amy went on a profound journey of healing old wounds, reclaiming her confidence, and rebuilding her life from the inside out. You know, we talk about inside out all the time. Today, Amy uses her strengths based holistic coaching. Don't say that too fast. Don't say that too fast. She uses that approach to help others rise, rebuild, and thrive in alignment with their purpose. Her story is a powerful reminder that prosperity is about wholeness. You guys clap it up and welcome Amy to the stage. Hey, Amy.
Hello,
How are
Nicole.
you?
I'm
Hey.
great. Thank you for
Good,
having me.
good. No problem. I was checking out your social media page this morning. I was like, look at Amy walking around with the wind blowing in her hair.
All la natural in the hills of West Virginia.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And it look, it's not too cold, but it's not too hot. So I love that in between time. And so thank you for spending some time with us today. I really and truly appreciate that. And we're going to jump right into where we usually start. And I'm going to ask you, what does prosperity mean to you?
Well, I love the whole idea of prosperity. And what that really means to me is when I'm fulfilled in my mind, body, and spirit. And when my mind, body, and spirit are in alignment, and I have that full kind of feeling, it really allows me to tap into my intuition, which I call my, the spiritual side of me, and that more than anything is of most value to me.
I love that. I love that. And believing that prosperity is holistic, when your mind, body, and spirit are working in harmony, how does someone begin to create that alignment in their own life?
Well, I first step back and ask the coaching clients that I have what kind of dreams that they have. What is it that they are looking, if they look out into the future, what kind of life do they want to have? If they're and Because most people that come to coaching aren't necessarily happy with where they are in that moment. It might be a different pain point. It might be, sometimes it's career, sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's money, sometimes it's, a whole host, but there's some kind of pain point. And so I ask people to take a step back and look at creating the life that they want to create in terms of what their dream is. And then from that point, we work towards mapping a course, getting direction, having goals, etc.
I love that, Amy, because again, when I put this call out for speakers to come and participate in prosperity conversations, I didn't know who would answer the call. So, really, a lot of prayer over the event, over the experience for both myself and for the speaker, and especially for the audience. This is the alignment that I keep talking about. Because what you said as you were speaking, all I heard was start with the end in mind. What is the goal? So if the goal is to, let's say, have $50,000 in savings, that's the end. Then, as you said, we back up and map out, how do we get there? What are we cutting out? What are we increasing? How does the roadmap to get to whatever that end goal is? What does that look like? So I absolutely love it. And I'm so grateful for the experience that the audience gets to have when it comes to this alignment between me and the speakers. So thank you again for being here. I want to go back just a little bit because um, in your introduction, we talked about losing your best friend. And I can only imagine how painful that was. But I want you to share how that became the beginning of a healing journey for you.
Well, I lost my mom in September of 2023, and she was, as you mentioned, my best friend. And losing my best friend meant that I lost this person who all my life had been the one who I would have a dream, I would have a goal, and she would say, "You can do it, Amy, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it." And she was in the, and as she got older, and she would sit in her chair, and I would talk about my public speaking dreams and my ambitions to want to spread more information and education about mental health. And she would just be there always to support me and tell me that I could do it. And so when she died, I lost that consistent voice of reinforcement, which I think that, everyone needs someone in your corner to be your cheerleader.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where, in some cases, not to make this all about coaching, but I think that's where a coach can be helpful in terms of encouragement and support. But when I lost that, I took a deep internal look of myself, because now there was no Esther to give that to me. There was no mom who was going to be there to tell me I could do it.
Right.
I had to take a step back and then start to ask myself, through a lot of self-reflection and spiritual growth, etc., about why couldn't I be that person to tell me, to tell myself that I could do it, and believe in myself, and to have the confidence that, like, she had in me. So I discovered really that I needed to work on my confidence. I needed to work on self-doubt. I needed to work on not worrying about what other people thought about me. I needed to not be a people pleaser and figure out. So I took this big onion of complexity, and I just started unraveling one piece at a time, to the point where, I got to a very peaceful, very confident place, to then it allowed me to be able to put myself out there and be of service to other people.
Amy, I love that, because it seems that a lot of us, especially when you go through something traumatic, you can do one of two things. It could be the thing that holds you back, right, and keeps you at a point of being stuck in your life, or you can use it to activate what's in you that needs to come out, right? And it sounds like your mom spent years preparing you because she knew there was a time that she would not be here. So her goal became to prepare you for what you needed in her absence, her physical absence. Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right, because I do feel her presence. And,
Yeah.
even if I'm using my imagination of what would I might think, what would she might say, or I might, feel as if spiritually I can connect with her. And I can get that whole Esther feeling just by imagining what she would tell me, which
So
is really a beautiful thing spiritually.
absolutely, I can see the way your face is lighting up. Your smile has gotten a little bigger. So I'm gonna go back even further. Tell me what it was like when you became. How was your mom when you became an Olympian?
Well, it was awesome and amazing, because the Olympic, I'm trying to think, it was sponsored by Seagram 7. It was a family program, and so they selected one family member from each Olympian's family got sent there on an all expense paid trip to the Olympics. So she got to come and stay in Family Village. And we were in the opening ceremonies where the parade of athletes come into the stadium, and there's like 70,000 people in the stands. And, you've got your American flag, which is absolutely incredible to represent your country in the Olympics. But I was able to pick my mom out of the crowd. So
How?
standing down there,
Amy, how could you pick your mom out of
we
70,000
just did.
people?
It was just amazing. Like, it was just meant to be. And then there were a lot of other American athletes that kind of joined in, and we kind of got out of sync. So we got a little flack for that, getting out of line. But it was the most memorable experience of seeing her up there, being my
Cheering you
biggest
on.
cheerleader.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
only imagine as a mom looking over all of this grandeur and seeing my child represent our country, because you were in Seoul, Korea. Is that where you
Yeah,
were?
Seoul, Korea in 1988 in the sport of handball.
Yes, yes. I can only imagine. I'm sure she was beaming with pride. And so it reminds me, now it's not Olympian, but my daughter did her first ballet recital. She was probably 4 or 5 years old, maybe a little bit older. No, she was first grade, first grade. And so she told me what color they were wearing. She never expected mommy to show up in a full jogging suit in the same color. She's like, Mommy, I can see you in the dark.
That's
And
wonderful.
we're in this auditorium, and here I am glowing in this orange jogging suit because their tutus and ballerina outfits were all orange. And she said her classmates were, I wish my mom would have worn that. So it is something to see, to be that cheerleader for your loved one. And let me ask you this. So when you first took your first client on as a coach, right? What was the turning point that you helped them reach, and how did you feel taking all that you had learned and pouring it into someone else?
Well, it was really a wonderful experience to watch someone grow, like in the process of working with someone and sharing your knowledge, but you're really, as a coach, helping them to discover their own light, their own answers, because I believe that everyone has the answers inside of them. And that as a coach, my job is just to shine the light by asking thoughtful questions and things like that. And my first client in life coaching in particular was wanting to ask her boss for a raise and really wanting a promotion. And so we worked on, really at the core root of all of it was building her confidence, building her value. Because I think that a lot of times when we discount ourselves, or we don't believe that we can go in and ask for that raise or that promotion, or to be considered for that promotion, that really at the core root of that is that we're not valuing ourselves enough. And then if you peel that layer back a little bit more, it really comes down to confidence. And how do we build confidence? How do you focus on the strengths that you have, and how can you articulate back to someone else, your boss in this case, and with confidence, to know that it's okay, and that the worst case scenario is that all he could say is no. And so anyhow, it did take a little while, but she was able to start having those conversations and feel more comfortable and more confident over time. And then not too long ago, I got a note from her that said she had gotten the promotion, and that she was very excited. And she's actually given me a testimonial for my website. So it's pretty awesome.
That's excellent. And so almost like that, their success is your success type of feeling. Yeah.
I think it's kind of like being a proud, if I don't have children, I have a dog and a cat, but if I did have children, it would be like being the proud parent,
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love that. As I have coached women over the years, and Nicole, I bought my first house. I was like, girl, where my room? Which one is my room? Am I upstairs or downstairs?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
love
when I
that.
travel to their city, I don't need a hotel. I'm going to my room. I don't care who uses it when I'm not there.
Yeah, I mean, I love the whole idea of celebrating someone else's success. I mean, that
And
is just like so incredibly powerful. And I do think that that taps into the spiritual connection that we have as human beings one to another, and realizing that we're not living in a finite world. We're living in an infinite world of infinite possibility, and that your success doesn't mean that I'm any less. Your success I celebrate, and that lifts both of us up.
absolutely, because we all have a turn, right? This might be your season, but it's not my season. We might have a season at the same time, and then there may be a time when it's my season and it's not yours. And and I think that God looks at what we do and how we treat people when it's their season.
Mm,
And it can have an he does how you treat others is how he allows blessings to flow to you. So if you can't be happy, some of the it doesn't cost anything to celebrate and acknowledge someone else when it's their turn.
mhm.
But you do a lot of damage, or you can do damage to someone when you won't even clap for them in their season.
Yeah, I
So
think that lends itself to not celebrating someone is the equivalent of discounting them. And
yes,
so you can get into that
absolutely.
pattern of, in relationships in particular, whether that's family or partner or significant other or whatever, where that person is not able or secure enough within themselves to be able to celebrate you and where you are or support you. And it comes down to then kind of gnawing away at the underlying confidence that you have.
Yeah, yeah. And we want to have that um when we talk about levels or different definitions of prosperity, peace is a whole different version of prosperity.
Mhm, mhm.
When you have that level of peace, that things in the outside world don't impact you. That can, I don't mind going outside, right? But then when it's too much drama, too many problems, I'm coming back inside. I'm coming back inside. So I
Yep.
do that on my social media page. I say, hey, y'all, I'm going outside. And then shortly later, y'all, I'm back inside. And like, Nicole, you weren't gone long enough. It was just too much. So that peace of mind is a level of prosperity that is important. I'm on the other side of 50. Things look a lot different over there. They look a lot different over here. Okay. So
Right.
Amy, I appreciate you being here with us. And so what I want to do before we wrap this up is I usually try to end with something specifically for our audience. And that question is for someone who's watching, who's maybe feeling stuck and not knowing what to do to kind of tap into move to that next level, what would you say to them?
I would say that it's sometimes being stuck is right on the verge of significant change. So when you're just grinding away and you feel like you can't catch a break and this is happening and that's happening, sometimes it's good to just sit down and be still and to use your form of whatever you prayer or meditation or whatever is quiet for you in that moment, and give yourself a chance to connect to your intuition, which all of us have, and see
Mm,
what your heart is saying to you. Because sometimes we get so caught up in what our mind is telling us that we forget to listen to our heart. And when we listen to our heart and we have the passions come through, then the pathway might not totally clear up overnight, but the pathway starts to get a little bit clearer, and we might meet up with someone who changes the course of our destination.
I love it. That is excellent. You guys heard it from our 1988 Olympian. Yes. Make sure you check out her website. And as always, this has been another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I'm your host, the Nicole Johnson. Till next time.